Welcome to DSD EDGE Automated Endoscope Reprocessor Overview Training. This video supplements, but does not replace, the information provided in the user manual that came with your DSD EDGE Automated Endoscope Reprocessor, or AER. This video is divided into segments, so you can easily review specific topics as needed. These segments include an introduction to the DSD EDGE Automated Endoscope Reprocessor and how it ties into infection prevention and guidelines. Components: the chemistry used by the DSD EDGE Reprocessor, daily startup tasks, loading fluids, test strip quality control, control panel familiarization, endoscope preparation and placement, standard operation of the DSD EDGE Reprocessor, daily shutdown, maintenance, and troubleshooting. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor is a dual endoscope disinfector, allowing two endoscopes to be reprocessed simultaneously or asynchronously. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor provides fast turnaround time and dependable performance. We know you will be pleased with this important new addition to your reprocessing department. Your DSD EDGE Reprocessor is designed to ensure patient safety by adhering to standards for high-level disinfection, optimizing workflow efficiency, and delivering versatility by supporting a wide range of flexible endoscopes. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor was specially designed to meet customer needs with four major benefits: operator safety, cycle speed, cost efficiency, and the use of an environmentally friendly, single-use high-level disinfectant called Rapicide PA Disinfectant. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor is designed and engineered to meet society guidelines and recommendations, providing infection prevention for your patients, caregivers, and other healthcare providers. Additional details for specific guidelines are available online at endoinfectionprevention.com. Let's take a closer look at the features and components of the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor features two independent stations. Both stations are operated by a single control panel. Each station has its own basin with disinfectant sampling port, its own system of fluid lines and valves, its own pump, compressor, dosing chambers, air filter, and disinfectant filter. Shared components include the water filters, alcohol and detergent reservoirs, Rapicide PA disinfectant, and air tank. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor includes a sensor package and safety features. Let's take a look. Flow sensors ensure flow from the AER through the hookup connected to the endoscope channels. Lid sensors alert operators if the lid is open or ajar. An electronic monitoring system alerts you to a condition that requires attention. Safety features also include warning, status, and process indicator lights and audible tone. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor minimizes vapor and fume exposure as compared to manual reprocessing. A floating basin lid minimizes and restricts chemical vapors, while a gasketed basin lid suppresses vapors. Optional passive vapor management or active vapor management systems are also available and designed to minimize staff exposure to chemical fumes. The active vapor management's exhaust fan and carbon filter removes fumes from high-level disinfectant during the disinfection cycle. Single-use high-level disinfectant, Rapicide PA Disinfectant, means each reprocessing cycle uses a fresh batch of disinfectant solution. We'll learn more about Rapicide PA Disinfectant in the chemistry segment of the video. Rapid and easy-to-use Rapicide PA test strips are used to measure the minimum recommended concentration, or MRC, of Rapicide PA Disinfectant with a definitive pass-fail color chart. An automated alcohol flush facilitates water displacement from the channels, which aids in reducing residual moisture, preventing bacterial growth. Cycle documentation via the onboard printer includes endoscope, operator, patient, and physician ID input fields, providing a detailed record of the cycles and a cycle complete or error message in bold font. The test strip result indicating the MRC of the Rapicide PA disinfectant is also printed on the data log. The following components are found inside each basin. The Endoscope Hookup connector attaches the hookup to the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. Hookups are the interface between the DSD EDGE Reprocessor and the endoscope. They deliver correct flow rates that meet manufacturer specifications. The Endoscope Leak Test connector connects to the DSD Leak Test hookup, which attaches to the leak test port on the endoscope. Automated leak testing continues throughout the cycle when an endoscope is connected to a DSD leak test hookup. Although the DSD EDGE Reprocessor has a leak test feature, it does not replace the leak test that is required by the endoscope manufacturer's IFU. The manual leak test allows for the physical turning of the control knobs to flex the bending rubber and pressing the camera switches to test these additional areas for leaks. The basin level sensor detects when the correct fluid level is in the basin, which ensures endoscopes are in contact with the Rapicide PA disinfectant. The overflow outlet will drain excess fluids if necessary. Waste fluids are discarded through the basin drain. The basin return drain allows for recirculation of the disinfectant through the disinfectant filter. The temperature sensor monitors the disinfectant temperature to ensure Rapicide PA disinfectant is between 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. If the temperature is outside of the required range, the unit will stop and an alarm will sound to alert the operator to the temperature error. Each station has its own basin with disinfectant sampling port. The control panel allows easy entry of commands and is made up of 3 major sections. The upper portion of the control panel contains the LED indicators for the station status and warning section, and a display screen. The LED indicators display warning conditions and the status of the current cycle. Notice there are 2 sets of LED indicators for the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. The set above the display is for Station A. The set below is for Station B. The display screen provides detailed status, warning, and other information that is needed to operate the unit. In the center, the keypad allows the operator to enter numeric information, such as selecting a setup function, entering ID data, or entering date and time information. The lower portion of the control panel contains function keys used to control the operation of the AER. Now let's look inside to see the components and features. A convenient pull-out drawer provides easy access to Rapicide PA Disinfectant Part A and Part B high-level disinfectant containers. 2 reusable mesh disinfectant filters, 1 for each basin, filters the Rapicide PA disinfectant during the disinfectant phase. There are 2 800 milliliter reservoirs, 1 for detergent and 1 for alcohol. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor is equipped with a built-in compressed air system with 2 0.2 micron air filters, 1 for each basin, to deliver high-purity air to assist in removing residual water from the endoscope channels. The label containing the serial number is located on the left side wall. Medivator's 1-800 number is located on the inside of the left door. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor uses an external wall-mounted dual water pre-filtration system and an internal bacteria retentive filter to provide high-quality rinse water. The pre-filtration system removes particles from the incoming water line in step-down fashion from 1.0 to 0.45 microns. Filters should be mounted where they are easily accessible for the staff and not near electrical outlets. These filters should be changed every 6 months or when the pressure, indicated by the gauges, falls below 35 psi or if there is a pressure drop across any filter greater than 5 psi. An external regulator controls the pressure of incoming water to the DSD EDGE Reprocessor to ensure it does not exceed 35 to 40 psi. This is set during installation by your Medivator's Field Service Engineer, or FSE. The internal 0.2 micron absolute rated filter removes and retains bacteria from the rinse water. To assist in keeping your system free of microorganisms, this filter must be changed every 6 months, or more frequently, depending on the water quality in your area, followed by a waterline disinfection. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor uses Rapicide PA disinfectant, which comes in 2 parts, A and B. Rapicide PA disinfectant is a single-use paracetic acid-based solution with proven materials compatibility. Rapicide PA disinfectant achieves high-level disinfection with an exposure time of 5 minutes at a minimum of 30 degrees Celsius, at a concentration equal to or greater than the minimum recommended concentration, MRC, of 850 parts per million of paracetic acid. Rapicide PA disinfectant has sporicidal, bactericidal, fungicidal, tuberculocidal, and virucidal efficacy. Therefore, it effectively kills TB, hepatitis viruses, poliovirus, Clostridium difficile, VRE, MRSA, CRE, and more. It is an environmentally responsible chemistry that eventually breaks down into water and vinegar once it mixes with wastewater. To be compliant with federal standards and for staff safety, obtain a Rapicide PA Disinfectant Spill Kit from Medivators. During the in-service, you will receive training on spill containment, neutralization of Part A, and safe disposal of Part A and B. The Rapicide PA Disinfectant Spill Cleanup and Disposal form is in the in-service packet, shipped with your AER, or found on our website at www.medivators.com. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor utilizes 70% isopropyl alcohol per most endoscope manufacturers' manuals and society guidelines. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor has an optional detergent cycle. Enabling the detergent cycle does not replace completing all manual cleaning steps. At the start of the day, verify that the DSD EDGE Reprocessor is on by confirming the display area is illuminated. The unit does not have an on-off switch. If it is off, ensure the electrical plug is in a working receptacle. The AER should not be used if left dormant for more than 7 days. If your DSD EDGE Reprocessor has or will be dormant for more than 7 days, contact Medivator's technical support at 1-800-444-4729 for important instructions on restarting your AER. Check the control panel lights and screen for warning messages. If none appear, continue. Check the time indicated on the control panel display for accuracy. Instructions for resetting the time are explained in the control panel segment. Check for adequate printer paper supply and replace if required. We will review how to replace the printer paper in the maintenance segment of this video. Open the doors to inspect the alcohol fluid level. If using detergent, check the detergent reservoir level. If fluids need to be replaced, review the loading fluids segment. Ensure Rapicide PA disinfectant parts A and B are within their usable lifespan, which is 21 days after opening or prior to the expiration date on the containers. The date opened should be recorded on the containers and in a log. Verify the Rapicide PA test strips are within their usable lifespan, which is 4 months after opening and prior to the expiration date on the container. The open date should be recorded on the bottle of test strips. You will also need to obtain a certificate of analysis for the test strips, which is discussed in the test strip quality control segment. Ensure the filters are within their use life. If not, change and document in the filter change log. Ensure the incoming waterline valve is in the open position. the unit will not operate without water pressure. Confirm the incoming water temperature is within the required operational range of 35 degrees plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius. This can be accomplished in one of two ways. If your reprocessor is plumbed with a bypass valve to send the incoming water down the drain, open the valve. The temperature of the water can be monitored by the inline temperature gauge. Close the valve when the gauge reads approximately 35 degrees Celsius. You can also confirm the water temperature by using a setup function. First, use the Station Select button to illuminate the desired station and install a basin restrictor. Then, press Setup, 41, and Enter on the control panel. The display prompts Water Temp Test. Press Enter to initiate water flow into the basin. As water is flowing, verify the incoming water temperature reading on the display, which is the number on the right for the basin selected. Once the incoming water temperature has stabilized at approximately 35 degrees Celsius, press Stop to stop the inflow of water. The display will show Basin Drained. Once the basin is completely drained, press Stop again to close the drain valve. This concludes the daily startup segment. In this segment, we will demonstrate the procedure for loading fluids into your DSD EDGE Reprocessor. The operator must wear the facility-required personal protective equipment when replacing the disinfectant. At a minimum, PPE may include gloves, impervious gown, mask to cover the nose and mouth, and protective eyewear. Change Rapicide PA disinfectant when expired or when the display indicates either Part A or Part B is empty. It is important to always replace Part A and Part B containers at the same time. Prior to loading new containers into the DSD EDGE Reprocessor, document the date open and date expiring along with your initials in the space provided on each container label. As a reminder, Rapicide PA disinfectant expires 21 days after opening. Open the doors of the DSD EDGE Reprocessor and slide the drawer fully out. Remove the empty Part A container from the drawer. Place a new Part A container in the front position of the reservoir drawer and remove the blue cap. Twist the blue cap off the empty Part A container. Pull up and out to remove the uptake tube from the empty container. Insert the uptake tube in the new container of Part A and tighten. Repeat this process for Part B, placing the Part B container in the back position of the reservoir drawer. Note that the cap on the new container of Part B is white, along with the cap of the uptake tube. Document the disinfectant change on a log. Dispose of any fluid left in the containers according to local, state, and federal guidelines. For the alcohol phase of the disinfection cycle to be completed, sufficient alcohol is needed in the reservoir. As part of the daily maintenance, check the alcohol level in the reservoir. If low, replace the 70% isopropyl alcohol by twisting the alcohol reservoir in a counterclockwise direction to remove. Adding alcohol to the refill line indicated on the reservoir, which is 800 milliliters. The alcohol level will rise above the fill line when the reservoir is replaced. Using detergent in the DSD EDGE Reprocessor does not replace any of the required steps in manual cleaning. Every step in the manual cleaning process must be completed whether the detergent phase is used or not. If your facility uses the AER pre-wash function in the reprocessing cycle, Cantel recommends the use of Intercept detergent, which has bacteriostatic properties to inhibit bacterial growth in the detergent reservoir and detergent line. It is recommended and validated for use in the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. A quality control for the test strips must be performed prior to use. Cantel provides an online library of lot numbers tested prior to being shipped to customers. You may see this referred to as Certificate of Analysis or Certificate of Conformance. When a new bottle of Rapicide PA test strips has a new lot number, the quality control must be confirmed. To locate the certificate of analysis, go to www.medivators.com. Click on Customer Support. Click on Certificates of Analysis, and a new window opens. Enter the lot number from the side of the Rapicide PA test strip bottle. Click Search. Click the PDF link that appears under the search bar to access the Certificate of Analysis. Print off the Certificate of Analysis that states the quality control for that lot number was performed by Cantel. There is no need to perform additional quality control. Let's review the control panel function keys. ID data allows the user to enter 4 identifiers: endoscope, operator, patient, and physician. Each ID entry can contain up to 10 digits. Your DSD EDGE Reprocessor is programmed to use Program 1. Your display should show A1 and B1. This indicates both A and B basins are running Program 1. The Add Air function is seldom used. However, when it is pressed during a disinfection cycle, an additional programmed amount of air is delivered. This function does not replace the endoscope drying requirement after high-level disinfection. Use the HLD pass button during the disinfection process after a test strip indicates the disinfectant met the MRC for the cycle. Use the HLD fail button during the disinfection process after a test strip indicates the disinfectant failed to meet the MRC for the cycle. The endoscope cannot be used in a patient procedure and must be reprocessed. The Setup button allows you to access various functions, including Setup, 13, Enter, which displays the basin temperature on the left and the incoming water temperatures on the right in Celsius for both stations. Setup 17, Enter, shows the remaining cycle time for both stations. Setup 10, Enter, clears the log for the selected station. The log or memory should be cleared on a regular basis, depending on your volume. This refreshes the memory and helps prevent printing errors. Prior to clearing the log, ensure all cycle data logs are printed out. Select Station A. Press Setup 10. Enter. Display shows Clear Log. Press Enter and all data will be cleared. Repeat for Station B. For a list of other setup functions, please refer to the DSD Setup Functions Guide in the in-service packet shipped with your AER or found online on our website at www.medivators.com. The Enter button allows for numeric entry. Cancel can be used for several functions. When in the Setup menu, pressing Cancel will exit out of the Setup menu and bring you to the home screen. It may take pressing Cancel a few times to exit out all the screens. To abort or cancel a cycle for the selected station, press Cancel. The display shows Cancel. Press Enter to confirm. Once canceled, in the Program Status area of the display, you will see alternating capital R and small r, indicating the station is resetting. Reset an alarm by pressing Cancel, then Enter. Pressing Station Select will toggle to either Station A or B. The highlighted station is the selected station. Press the Start key to begin the disinfection cycle, or to resume an interrupted cycle in the selected station. Press the Stop button to pause a disinfection cycle in the selected station. You can also use Stop to acknowledge a warning message, or stop a system function. You must use the Stop button to reset the DSD EDGE Reprocessor when a leak fail message is displayed. The leak test system is discussed in the Operations segment. To prepare an endoscope for disinfection, personnel should don this facility-required personal protective equipment to protect contact with infectious material. PPE may include gloves, impervious gown, mask to cover the nose and mouth, and protective eyewear. First, complete the point-of-use treatment at the bedside. If applicable, attach the water-resistant cap. Then, using an appropriate covered container, such as the Endoscope Advantage Transport and short-term storage system, transport the endoscope to the reprocessing room. Next, perform the leak test. This may be performed as a dry leak test with the Veriscan leak tester. Although the DSD EDGE Reprocessor has a leak test feature, it does not replace the leak test that is required by the endoscope manufacturer's IFU. The manual leak test allows for the physical turning of the control knobs to flex the bending rubber and pressing the camera switches to test these additional areas for leaks. Manually clean the endoscope by following the manufacturer's IFU. The flushing step can be done manually or automatically with the use of the Scope Buddy Plus flushing aid before disinfection in the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. Accessories, for example reusable valves, should also be manually cleaned per the endoscope manufacturer's manual. Using an appropriate covered container, such as the Endoscope Advantage Transport and short-term storage system, transport the endoscope to the reprocessor. Now, we will demonstrate how to properly load a gastroenterology endoscope into the DSD EDGE Reprocessor basin. To pre-coil the endoscope before placing it inside the basin, hold the control section in your right hand and loop the light guide cable in a counterclockwise fashion so that the light guide connector will land on the left lower side. Loop the insertion tube in a clockwise motion in an oval shape to fit in the basin. Place the control section at the right rear of the basin with the control knobs up. The distal end should be tucked under the endoscope to ensure fluids do not shoot up and onto the floating lid or down the overflow drain. Endoscope channel connectors, or hookups, must be purchased along with your DSD EDGE Reprocessor. Only Medivator's validated endoscope hookups can be used. Medivator's hookups are validated for proper endoscope connection and fluid flow, which is critical to ensuring the endoscope and its interior channels are high-level disinfected and rinsed. Hookups cannot be modified or altered. Use of altered hookups is strictly prohibited and will not ensure high-level disinfection of endoscopes or patient safety and should never be used. Each hookup is labeled with a hookup part number and lot number on a label affixed along the tubing for easy identification. To ensure proper connection, refer to the IFUs that are supplied with your hookups or on our website at www.medivators.com. Your Cantel clinical specialist will review these hookups and their connections during your hands-on training. If you have any questions regarding the DSD EDGE Reprocessor hookups for your endoscope, contact Medivator's technical support at 1-800-444-4729. We will now demonstrate the connection of an Olympus endoscope with an auxiliary water inlet. Next, connect the hookup to the endoscope. Let's start with the air-water and suction separator. Ensure the release button is pushed in. Place and align the separator over the valve cylinders or openings. Push down on the channel separator until the release button moves out and you hear an audible click. For the biopsy inlet connector, align the rubber fitting over the instrument channel port and push down and over the inlet until fully engaged. Next, we will attach the air-water connector. Ensure the release button is pushed in. Holding the connector itself, align the connector openings with the air-water ports on the endoscope. Push the connector onto the ports until the latch moves out and you hear an audible click. Tug lightly to ensure the connector is attached securely. To attach the air probe connector, align it with the air pipe on the endoscope. Push and slide until fully engaged. To attach the auxiliary water connector, align it with the endoscope's fitting and turn clockwise until fully engaged. To install the suction connector, align it with the suction barb and push onto the barb until fully engaged. Push the basin connector on the end of the DSD hookup into the basin connector port. You will hear a snap and see the metal plate on the basin connector port pop out. To connect the Olympus DSD leak test hookup, connect the hookup to the basin's leak test connector. Align the slot on the hookup with the pin on the endoscope's venting connector. Push on and turn clockwise to engage. To ensure proper connection, refer to the IFUs that are supplied with your hookups or on our website at www.medivators.com. Place loose parts in the accessory bag. Place the accessory bag in the basin and tuck it underneath the endoscope to prevent floating. Do not reprocess water bottles or forceps in the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. Once the endoscope is secured in the basin and properly connected, remove contaminated gloves and replace with clean gloves. Let's review how to connect a Pentax endoscope with a forward water jet. Refer to the manual to ensure correct placement of the connectors. Starting with the air, water, and suction cylinders, attach the Pentax cleaning adapter following the manufacturer's IFU in order to block fluid flow out of the air, water, and suction cylinders. Attach the biopsy inlet connector by aligning the hookup's lure fitting on the instrument channel's opening. Push and turn clockwise to fully engage. To attach the hookup suction connector, align the connector with the suction barb on the endoscope. Push onto the barb until fully engaged. The air-water connector is attached by aligning it with the endoscope's air-water port and pushing toward the endoscope until fully engaged. For the forward water jet channel, attach the required Pentax cleaning adapters to the endoscope per the IFU. The check valve must be removed from the Pentax cleaning adapter to ensure proper flow and high-level disinfection of the channels. Next, attach the lure connector on the DSD hookup to the cleaning adapter. Push the basin connector on the end of the DSD hookup into the basin connector port. You will hear a snap and see the metal plate on the basin connector port pop out. To connect the Pentax DSD leak test hookup, connect the hookup to the basin's leak test connector. Align the slot on the hookup with the endoscope's venting connector. Push on and turn clockwise to engage. Always refer to the provided hookup IFU. This segment will demonstrate how to connect a Fujifilm 700 series endoscope to the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. Using the Fujifilm cylinder adapter, insert the air, water, and suction plugs into the air, water, and suction valve cylinders of the endoscope. Push the frame down and then slide forward. Align the rubber instrument channel inlet cap over the instrument channel inlet of the endoscope. Push down and over the inlet until fully engaged. To attach the Fujifilm injection tube to the endoscope, align the pin of the water supply connector of the endoscope with the notch of the tank receiving cap. Push the cap and rotate clockwise until it stops to secure it. Attach the air pipe port of the injection tube to the air guide port of the endoscope until it stops. Push the suction tube on the endoscope suction connector until it stops. The DSD hookup consists of 3 lure connectors. Attach 2 of the lure connectors to the 2 syringe ports on the Fujifilm injection tube. The 3rd lure connector attaches to the endoscope's water jet inlet. To connect the Fujifilm DSD leak test hookup, align the slot on the hookup with the endoscope's venting connector. Push on and turn clockwise to engage. Connect the hookup to the basin's leak test connector. Always refer to the provided hookup IFU. Up to 4 wire-guided dilators may be reprocessed in one basin in the DSD EDGE Reprocessor using the appropriate dilator hookup. Soak-only items, for example bougie dilators that do not have a channel or require specific hookups, can be reprocessed using the basin restrictor. Soak-only devices can be reprocessed in the DSD EDGE Reprocessor as long as they meet these requirements. The soak-only device is chemically compatible with the disinfectant chemistry that is in use in the reprocessor as per the device manual. The soak-only device manual states that device can be disinfected by submersion in a high-level disinfectant. The soak-only device does not contain lumens or channels that require separate flushing. The soak-only device has been cleaned prior to the disinfection process. The soak-only device can physically fit into the AER basin and is completely submerged. High-level disinfection is the standard of decontamination accepted by the facility for the devices being reprocessed. No manual manipulation or flushing of valves or buttons is required. For a full list of instruments compatible with the DSD EDGE Reprocessor, please consult the Medivator's Interactive Hookup Guide or contact Medivator's technical support at 1-800-444-4729. In this segment, we will discuss standard operation of the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. On the control panel, verify the correct station is selected. If necessary, press Station Select to choose the correct station, either A or B. Press ID Data on the control panel. Follow the prompts on the display to enter the ID data. Use the keypad to enter the numbers, or, if equipped with a barcode scanner, scan the barcodes. When using the barcode scanner, it is not necessary to press Enter after each entry. Enter all data required for the printed log. Each ID entry can contain up to 10 digits. Scope displays on the screen. Scan or type the endoscope serial number or barcode. Operator displays on the screen. Scan or type the operator ID. Patient displays on the screen. Scan or type the patient ID. Physician displays on the screen. Scan or type the physician ID. Although the ID data fields can be skipped, the cycle record will not contain cycle information that may be required for audits. The information entered in ID data will be printed on the receipt at the end of the cycle and should be retrievable for tracking and traceability. Place the floating lid onto the basin. Make sure the endoscope is positioned in the basin so that the cover does not rest on the endoscope or the hookup. If the endoscope or hookup are pushing up on the floating lid, don facility-required PPE and reposition the endoscope in the basin to avoid fluids from overflowing onto the top of the floating lid. Remove contaminated PPE. Finally, close the station lid. Press the Start button to begin the reprocessing cycle. The first operation is checking for air leakage. The endoscope is pressurized and monitored for 40 seconds. If there is a major or gross leak detected where the pressure cannot be maintained in the endoscope, the reprocessing cycle halts. The control panel's warning LED indicator lights blink, and on the screen, a leak fail error message displays. On the control panel, press Stop to end the cycle. Troubleshoot the leak issue by checking to ensure the leak test connector and, if applicable, water-resistant cap are securely on the endoscope. Ensuring the basin leak test connector is firmly snapped in the basin. If applicable, applying a small amount of silicone oil to the O-ring inside the leak test connector if dry. Trying a different leak test connector. Restart the cycle. If a major leak is still detected, remove the endoscope from the basin and from service. Continue disinfection of the endoscope with the leak by following your facility's policy and procedures. This endoscope cannot be used in a patient procedure and must be sent out for repair. If there is a minor leak and pressure can be maintained within the endoscope, the DSD EDGE Reprocessor will continue to monitor and disinfect the endoscope. At the end of the cycle, the control panel's warning LED indicator lights blink, and a leak fail error message displays on the screen. On the control panel, press Stop to acknowledge and clear the warning message. Troubleshoot using the same methods described for a major leak. Restart the cycle. If a minor leak is still detected, remove the endoscope from the basin and from service. An endoscope that has a failed leak test cannot be used in a patient procedure and must be sent out for repair. Next, the flush cycle begins. During the cycle, the channel plug in the control section and the biopsy cap are designed to permit the passage of small amounts of fluid. No other connections should leak. If leaking is detected, it is usually a sign of a bad or loose connection. If prior to disinfection, select the appropriate station. Press Stop to pause the unit, correct the problem, or replace the hookup. Press Start to resume. If after disinfection, select the appropriate station. Press Cancel, then Enter to abort the cycle. Once the station has reset, correct the problem, or replace the hookup. Begin a new cycle. The remainder of the disinfection process is fully automated. No further operator attention is required. Phase indicators identify which cycle phase the system is performing. The LED illuminates to indicate the present cycle phase. The air light will flash at the end of each cycle phase to indicate air is being pushed through the channels to facilitate purging. When the disinfection process is complete, the display prompts the operator to test Rapicide PA Disinfectant's MRC with a test strip. Open the station lid. Dip a Rapicide PA test strip into the disinfectant sample port located near the front left corner of the basin. Compare the results to the chart provided on the test strip bottle. Do one of the following. If the test strip color indicates the disinfectant MRC was met for the cycle, press HLD Pass on the control panel. After 10 seconds, the process indicator light illuminates and completed displays on the screen. If the test strip color indicates the disinfectant MRC was not met during the cycle, check the expiration date on the test strip bottle and confirm the test strips have been stored properly. If not expired, use another test strip from the bottle and retest while ensuring you are following the test strip IFU. If the MRC fails again, open a new bottle of test strips and repeat the test. Test strips are sensitive to light and moisture. Be sure to replace the test strip bottle cap after each use. If the MRC still fails, press the HLD Fail button. Remove the endoscope from rotation and do not use it for a patient procedure. Call Medivator's technical support at 1-800-444-4729. After 10 seconds, the process indicator light illuminates and the message Completed shows on the display. Wait until the display shows Completed before disconnecting any hookup. If disconnected prior, the cycle indicates an error due to depressurization and the endoscope must be reprocessed. If the display shows aborted or an error message, review the errors and correct any issues so the endoscope can be successfully reprocessed. There is more information on correcting problems in the troubleshooting segment. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor automatically prints a record of the cycle, including the ID data, any error messages, HLD pass or fail with basin temperature of the disinfectant, and a cycle complete or cycle aborted message. Check to see if there is fluid on top of the floating lid at the end of the cycle. Any fluid should be discarded through the basin and the cycle repeated. If no fluid, remove the floating lid and store it behind the lid supports so it does not rest on the hinges. If the cycle completed successfully, don clean gloves and remove the accessory bag. Dry contents with a clean, unused, lint-free cloth. and store the reusable parts with the endoscope as a set. Prior to removing the endoscope from the basin, it is critical to verify the hookups are securely connected to the endoscope. If any connector is disconnected, the endoscope must be reprocessed and not used in a procedure. If all hookup connectors are still securely connected, remove all connectors from the endoscope and remove the endoscope from the basin. Thoroughly dry all surfaces of the endoscope using a clean, unused, lint-free cloth. At the end of the day, close the incoming waterline valve. Wipe out the inside of the basins and under the floating lids with a clean, unused, lint-free cloth. Disinfect the outside of the machine, basin lids, top of floating lids, and the barcode scanner with EPA-registered surface disinfectant wipes. In this segment, we will discuss routine maintenance needed for the DSD EDGE Reprocessor. The onboard printer uses thermal paper, which should be obtained from Medivators. The thermal paper has extended fade resistance properties with strong image preservation to ensure readability for tracking and tracing. To change the printer paper, pull the release button on the top of the printer to open the paper compartment. Remove the old paper roll and discard. Install a new roll of paper where the paper is coming from the bottom of the roll. Close the printer paper compartment. To maintain the Hookup O-Rings, on a weekly basis, inspect the O-rings in the hookups for damage, nicks, and cuts. If an O-ring is damaged or missing, take the hookup out of service. Lubricate the O-rings by placing a small amount of silicone oil between your gloved thumb and finger and spreading evenly on all hookup O-rings and quick connector. We will now discuss the waterline disinfection. A waterline disinfection needs to be performed weekly and when the 0.2 micron filter is changed. To perform the waterline disinfection, the unit needs to be in an idle state. Place the basin restrictors in both the A and B basins. Position the floating lids in both basins. Close the main basin lids. Ensure the water is on, and there is approximately 1 inch of fluid in each Rapicide PA disinfectant container. Press Setup, 6, Enter. The display will prompt Attach Restrictors, which should be installed in both basins. Press Start. The waterline disinfection begins. The rest of the process is automatic and takes approximately 2 hours. If desired, the time remaining can be checked by pressing Setup, 17, Enter. Once the waterline disinfection completes, air must be purged from the internal filters. A container that holds at least 1 liter of liquid is needed. Press Setup, 43, Enter, to open the incoming water supply valve and provide water to the internal filter. Direct the purge line from the internal filter housing into the container. Slowly open the air bleed valve until the air is purged from the filter housing and a steady stream of water flows from the purge line. Close the air bleed valve and tap the line to assist with removing any water from the line. Press Stop to close the incoming water supply valve, or allow it to close automatically after 250 seconds. Press Stop again to exit setup mode. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor has 2 reusable mesh disinfectant filters that need to be cleaned on a monthly basis. They are located inside the cabinet, under each basin, inside the black cap. To remove the filter, twist the cap off. Pull the filter out and clean by removing any lint and rinsing under clean water. Ensure the O-ring is in the groove of the cap to prevent leaking. Reattach the cap. Document cleaning both disinfectant filters on the filter change log. The DSD EDGE Reprocessor contains 2 air filters, one for each station. These filters should be changed every 3 months and are held in place by quick connect fittings. Let's start with Station B. Remove the air filter by pressing down on the release button of each quick connect fitting. Pull the air filter out. Place the new filter in line, making sure the blue end of the filter snaps into the blue quick connector. Likewise, the white end of the filter snaps into the white quick connector. To reach the air filter for Station A, the entire disinfectant chassis needs to be pulled out. It is important to perform this step carefully to ensure the chassis clears all fluid and air lines that may be in the way. Remove and replace the air filter. Document on the filter change log. The filters mounted outside of the unit are called pre-filters. These filters should be changed every 6 months or sooner, depending on the quality of the incoming water. The incoming water will first encounter the 1 micron filter, then the 0.45 micron filter. To change the pre-filters, ensure the unit is idle and the main incoming water supply valve is closed. To release the pressure in the water lines and on the filter housings, press Setup, 43, Enter. Direct the purge line into a container that can hold a minimum of 1 liter of fluid. Slowly open the handle on the air bleed valve to allow the water to drain into the container. Once the water flow reduces to a slow drip, close the air bleed valve. Tap the purge line to assist with removing any remaining drops of water. Remove the container and empty. On the control panel, press Stop to close the valve. Using the filter wrench and wearing gloves, twist off the filter housings to expose and remove the filters. The filter housings can be cleaned by washing with neutral pH, low-foaming, medical-grade detergent, such as Intercept detergent, then rinse thoroughly. Inspect the O-ring inside the housings for twists, wear, or damage. Replace if needed. Apply high vacuum grease to the housing's O-ring and threads if needed to aid in installation and sealing. Place a new 1 micron filter inside the filter housing and reattach. To install a new 0.45 micron filter, place the end of the filter with the O-ring in the filter manifold. Push up and twist slightly to secure. When reattaching the housings, hand tighten only. Do not use the filter wrench to tighten the housings. Open the main incoming water supply valve and carefully check the filter housings for leaks. Purge air from the system by repeating the steps used to release the pressure in the water lines, ensuring a steady stream of water is exiting from the air bleed purge line. Record filter changes in the filter change log. The internal 0.2 micron bacteria retentive water filter must be changed every 6 months or sooner, depending on the quality of the incoming water. After this filter is changed, it is necessary to run a waterline disinfection prior to beginning endoscope reprocessing. To change the 0.2 micron filter, don the facility-required PPE. Ensure the unit is idle and the main incoming water supply valve is closed. To release the pressure in the water lines and on the filter housings, press Setup, 43, Enter. Direct the purge line into a container that can hold a minimum of 1 liter of fluid. Slowly open the handle on the air bleed valve to allow the water to drain into the container. Once the water flow reduces to a slow drip, close the air bleed valve. Tap the purge line to assist with removing any remaining drops of water. Remove the container and empty. On the control panel, press Stop to close the valve. Disconnect the water filter inlet quick connect from the incoming water supply line and swivel to the front. Connect the accessory hose to the water filter inlet tube. Direct the hose and the purge line into the container. Open the handle on the air bleed valve to drain the water from the filter housing. Using the filter wrench, loosen the water filter housing by turning it left. Continue to rotate by hand until the housing slides off. To remove the filter, rotate the filter 1/2 inch towards the left to unlock the filter. Pull the filter downward to remove and discard. The filter housing can be cleaned by washing with neutral pH, low-foaming, medical-grade detergent, such as Intercept detergent, then rinsing thoroughly. Inspect the O-ring for twists, wear, or damage. Replace if needed. Apply high-vacuum grease to the housing's O-ring and threads if needed to aid in installation and sealing. To insert the new water filter, push the filter upwards into the housing cap. Rotate the filter to the right to tighten until it locks into the cap. Pull down slightly to ensure the filter tabs are wrapped on the screw shafts. Reattach the water filter housing. Hand tighten only. Do not use the filter wrench to tighten the housing. Remove the accessory hose and reconnect the water inlet line. Close the handle on the air bleed valve. Stop and take a moment to ensure this step is done. Slowly open the main water supply valve. Immediately after the 0.2 micron water filter is changed, you must complete these 2 steps. Purge air from the system by using the steps to release the pressure in the water lines, ensuring a steady stream of water is exiting from the air bleed purge line. Perform the water line disinfection. A water line disinfection process must be completed every time the 0.2 micron filter is changed. Record both the filter change and water line disinfection in the filter change log. If your unit is equipped with an active vapor management system, it is located on the back of your DSD EDGE Reprocessor. Inside is a charcoal filter that needs to be changed every 6 months. This filter is designed to minimize staff exposure to chemical fumes by removing chemical vapors from the basin, pulling them through the charcoal filter, and putting fresh air into the room. To change the vapor management filter, turn the power switch off. Unlatch the cover on the right side and open the lid. Pull out the filter using the finger tabs on the top and discard. Install the new vapor management filter with the arrow on the top pointing away from the machine and user and towards the back wall. Close and relatch the lid. Turn the power back on. Document the filter change in the filter change log. Preventative maintenance, PM, should be completed annually. Proper maintenance ensures effective disinfection and prolongs the life of your reprocessor. Contact Medivator's technical support to schedule the PM. In this segment, we will discuss how to troubleshoot some common messages or errors you might encounter. If a disinfectant container is low or needs to be replaced, the display will show low part A, low part B. Always replace both part A and B containers at the same time. If the alcohol is low or empty, the unit will stop, alarm, and the status and warning lights will flash. Remove, refill, and replace the alcohol reservoir. A no fluid flow error message occurs if no fluid flow is detected. Troubleshoot by checking the cycle indicator lights. If the unit is in the rinse stage, make sure the hookup connector is snapped securely into the basin port on the machine. If in the disinfection phase, cancel the cycle. Once the basin has reset, check the disinfectant filter to make sure it is clean. A no fluid Fl2 error indicates no disinfectant was flowing to the basin. This error can only occur during the disinfectant stage of the cycle. Examine the basin drain for objects that are causing the blockage. For example, a mesh bag covering or a reusable button stuck in the drain. A no airflow message indicates no air is detected or flowing. Consider replacing the air filter. If the basin fails to fill to a certain level in the required time, the unit will stop, alarm, and the status and warning lights will flash. The display shows low chamber. Check the cycle phase indicators on the control panel. If the unit alarmed in the rinse cycle, there is a water problem. Some issues could be the water filters may be clogged, and there is not sufficient flow and pressure. Inspect the pressure on the filter gauges. Or the water supply may be turned off. If alarmed in the disinfection cycle, the disinfection filter may be clogged. Cancel the cycle. Once the basin has reset, check the reusable mesh filter, clean as needed, and reinstall. When the incoming temperature is below 30 degrees or above 40 degrees Celsius, the display will show water T low or high, respectively. Call your facility maintenance to troubleshoot your incoming water temperature and mixing valve. A Basin Sensor error indicates fluid on the Basin Sensor, located inside the basin on top of the manifold. The cap should be placed so that the single hole is at the 12 o'clock position, and the other holes are at 5 and 6 o'clock. Condensation under the cap can also cause the alarm. If condensation is present, pop off the cap and wipe out the condensation with a clean, unused, lint-free cloth. Then replace the cap. If the cap is cracked or missing, contact Medivator's technical support to order a replacement. For additional troubleshooting, please refer to the user manual. It lists common problems and the appropriate corrective actions. If your problem persists or you need additional assistance, please contact Medivator's technical support at 1-800-444-4729.